You asked for it, and here it is. Hey, it's Katie, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite male characters from Game of Thrones. Alright, so let's start off with Tyrion Lannister because he is amazing. He really is, because he is the type of character that it's all inside of his head. He is so smart, so clever. He's just such an interesting character, and I feel so bad for him. Like, his life has been so sad. Nobody has ever loved him. Ever. Yet he still manages to be so clever and cunning and smart, and there's some things coming up in this next season that I think a lot of people are not expecting with his character, so I'm so excited to see people's reactions when they find out some of the things that happen. No spoilers. And honestly, these things that happen that I'm not going to talk about to spoil it, but those kind of events really made me understand him better, and he really impressed me. I'm like, how do I word this without totally giving away the plot of next season? So I'm not. But I just really love that he can stand up for himself, and he's probably one of the only people that stand up to Cersei, and I really like that about him, and I love his relationship with his brother Jaime and with Cersei, even though it's not a very good one. But his relationship with Jaime is very interesting, which if you've read the books, you get a little bit more of. And in the show, they had to skip some things, so you're not really getting that relationship between Tyrion and Jaime, but Tyrion, he's just, I'm so excited to see where he goes in the next stories. He's just so brave, too. I mean, even at the Battle of Blackwater, when Joffrey couldn't even lead his own army, Tyrion really just stepped in there and owned it, which was so amazing, and you could really see how brave and all he wants to do is just be able to help, yet his own sister and family can't even see that and give him no credit for it, which he's just such a great character. I honestly think he is one of the most cleverly written characters, just because of how witty he is and how cunning and smart. I love all those qualities about him. Alright, let's move on to Jaime Lannister. Yeah. I'm a really big fan of Jaime Lannister because of the show, I have to say, because Nikolai is just the sexiest man, and it really helps you like Jaime a bit more, but I always liked Jaime because he was this strong, handsome leader, and he was very cocky and full of himself, and sort of his journey so far is starting to humble him, which I really, really like. And I especially love his relationship with Brienne, and I just think that he doesn't want to care, but he just does. I mean, there's things that he has done just in these seasons that have already aired, and he wouldn't do those things normally, but there's something inside of him that's like, this is wrong, I have to help her. And twice he's helped Brienne when you didn't think he was going to. And it really blew me away when he did those things, because I'm like, all he ever talks about is wanting to get back to Cersei so he could be with Cersei, and now he's actually thinking about someone else besides himself or his sister. And that's really fascinating to me. So he's a very awesome character, he's very interesting, and I just really like the fact that he is going through big changes in his personality. Unlike the other characters in Game of Thrones, I feel like you watch them grow. They start off as being a little bit naive, and you can really watch them grow. And he's so opposite from his sister, who doesn't grow. Like, she is the exact same. But Jaime, he started off one way, and you thought he was just going to be set in his ways, and now he's kind of changing, which is really interesting. Alright, and if you're not a Jaime fan, then you're probably a Jon Snow fan, because he is another awesome character. He's kind of got this hero vibe about him, and I really hope in the end he turns out to be a huge hero. One thing I never liked about Jon is, like, why would you go to the Night's Watch? Like, seriously? Why would you condemn yourself to that life? But he's just so honorable, and I think growing up in the Stark family and having Ned as a father, I feel like he kind of got some of Ned's traits. I'm laughing because if you've read the books and you go on Reddit, then you know the theory that I'm laughing about. But anyway, I feel like Jon is so admirable and loyal and just so good. He's such a good guy. And I guess that's why he went off to the Night's Watch. But I was always mad about that because I was like, seriously? Like, you could have this awesome life. Jon is kind of this crazy character, and he's so interesting because you never know what's gonna happen next with him. It's one of those characters that you really can't predict. I mean, you can't predict like who's gonna die and stuff in the books, but with Jon, you don't know what he is going to do next. You understand his thought process, but at the same time he does things and you're just like, I was not expecting that from him. Which is really cool, and that's something that I really like about him, is that he is not that predictable. Because there are a few things that he's done in the books that I'm just like, wow. I never thought that he could do that. So, and I just want him to be reunited with Arya. Gosh, I love their dynamic, and I just feel like they'd be a solid team fighting alongside each other, so gosh, I love Jon Snow. Another one of my favorites is Jorah. I know a lot of people don't like Jorah, but I just find him so funny. Not funny, but I mean, he just loves Dany so much, and he's another character that I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for him. This is so sad. He just loves her and would do anything for her. And Dany's kind of just like, great, I'm glad you're here, awesome, bye. It's so sad. Poor Jorah. That's all I have to say. Poor Jorah. I mean, I would want to be that guy's friend in a second because he is awesome. He's so loyal and noble, and he's just so caring, and I hope Dany sees that one day. Well, there you go. Those are my favorite men from Game of Thrones, with Nikolai being my very favorite of them. But maybe not character-wise, because I think that has to go to Tyrion. Because Tyrion is just... I don't even think that you can't even describe how awesome he is. He's just on another level. But I want to know from you, who are your very favorite male characters from Game of Thrones? Leave it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.